In the mid-1960s, California was shaken by a series of murders that left the police perplexed and the public in a state of panic. A killer, who called himself Zodiac, challenged authorities with enigmatic letters, indecipherable codes, and an insatiable thirst for notoriety. But who was this man? And why did he become one of the most infamous criminals in history? Today, we will delve into the shadows of this mystery, explore the macabre details of his actions, and try to understand what drives someone to become a symbol of terror. Get ready for a chilling journey through the enigma of the Zodiac Killer. The Zodiac Killer was a serial killer who operated in California in the late 1960s and early 1970s. He is known to have murdered at least 5 people, although he claimed to have committed as many as 37 homicides. The most haunting aspect is that the killer stood out by sending letters to the press and police, some of which contained ciphers in which he challenged authorities and public opinion. The case of Betty Lou Jensen and David Faraday was the first confirmed attack by the Zodiac Killer, occurring on the night of December 20, 1968, in Vallejo, California. The couple was parked in a remote location when they were approached. Both were shot, with Betty Lou Jensen found dead in the back seat of the car and David Faraday next to the vehicle. Similarly, Darlene Ferrin and Michael Mago were in a parked car on July 4, 1969, also in Vallejo. When they were attacked by an armed man, Darlene was shot dead, but Michael survived and managed to provide a description of the attacker. He was one of the few people who survived an attack from the Zodiac Killer. In his description, he portrayed the killer as an ordinary-looking man but with peculiar behavior. Mago mentioned that Zodiac was approximately 6 feet tall and had a stocky build. He also noted that the man wore a mask or hood during the attack, which made complete identification difficult. Additionally, Mago described the killer's gaze as intense and disturbing, leaving a deep mark on his memory. His statements helped create a composite sketch that was widely circulated at the time. The Zodiac Killer also approached another couple while they were by Lake Berryessa near Napa. They were Cecilia Shepard and Brian Hartnell on September 27, 1969. He wore a costume with a cross symbol and carried a knife. He tied up Cecilia and Brian, stabbed both of them, and marked a Z on Brian as part of his modus operandi. In San Francisco on October 11, 1969, Paul Stein, a taxi driver, was shot and killed by the Zodiac Killer while driving through the city. This murder is notable because it occurred in a busy urban area, and remarkably, the killer managed to escape without being identified. The Zodiac Killer sent several letters to the press after his crimes, some containing details that only the true murderer would know. He also sent ciphers challenging readers to decipher them, generating significant public interest. Among them is the 408-character cipher, sent in 1969. This was the first cipher solved by a couple named Donald and Betty Harden using a simple substitution approach. The deciphered message included references to his satisfaction with his murders and his desire to be recognized as a great killer. The Z340 cipher, also sent in 1969, was much more complex with 340 symbols and remained unsolved for over 50 years. In December 2020, a group of amateur cryptographers successfully deciphered it. The text revealed parts of the killer's psychology, including references to his desire to kill and seek recognition. In one disturbing excerpt, he stated, "I like killing people because it is so much fun." Other ciphers remain unsolved as well. For instance, there is Z13 sent in 1970, containing only 13 symbols, and is one of the lesser-known ones. Despite various investigations and identification efforts over the decades, the true identity of the Zodiac Killer has never been confirmed. In November 2023, claims emerged that the true name of the Zodiac Killer might have been revealed through DNA analysis. A group called Case Breakers asserted that their investigations point to an Air Force veteran as a possible perpetrator of these crimes. They claim that their findings are solid, but there is still no official confirmation. The FBI has been working alongside other agencies to reanalyze evidence and DNA profiles related to the case in hopes of finally identifying the killer. The mystery surrounding the Zodiac Killer has generated significant interest in popular culture with books, documentaries, and films exploring this case, and the legacy of Zodiac lives on, not only as one of history's most infamous murder cases but as a dark reminder of what happens when evil hides in plain sight. What do you think? Is the Zodiac Killer still among us? Leave your theories in the comments and don't forget to subscribe and like for more intriguing content like this.